armor first of all.
Oh, it's got a lot more dark.
He's got a lot of abilities thinking about it too.
Oh yeah, you get to see the full suite.
He's got twice the abilities of a normal god.
And then we're gonna throw that at Odin, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good
Get
old
him.
Odin.
Get hammered. There's a lot more black, and there seems to be some kind of demonic.
Yeah, the runes on the ground.
Yeah.
Pentagram type deal there.
I love when we do those.
And then we've also got Coerce as well, which you can put on a teammate. There we go. You can see what a Coerce looks like. Little dancing man as always.
different
has to
dancing
happen.
Fafnir though.
Look at that evil dance.
He's not dancing. He's stomping his foot at you in rage.
He's dancing.
All right, fine.
And next, my favorite ability to name, Underhanded Tactics. It's so easy to cast that one. I say that all the time.
Hey.
Hello,
guys,
stream.
Fafnir's Underhanded
Hello.
Tactics is down.
I
Hey,
remember
man.
when you told me when we were working on Fafnir how great that name was.
Yeah.
Fafnir
So
skin
let's
has
make sure the
seemed
design
very
team keeps it
average.
As long as we're not talking
very,
about
very
Whirlwind
much
of
average.
Rage and Steel anymore,
A
then
beautiful name. Washing machine is what one of our Australian cousins called it once, and yeah, he did
That's
so
what I hear.
quickly. And then here's the ultimate.
Oh yeah.
It's a cool color, but like not
occulty
really
effects
that
there, which our
special
team
other
just
than the
does
colors.
a really great job with. That's kind of their
The
wheelhouse.
dragon breath is awesome. I love that blue color.
Yeah, it's got a little.
That
close
dragon
to
is so sick.
Pawn, just use some of the abilities, and then we can
do something useful.
Yeah,
Pawn.
use some
we
abilities,
can
Pawn.
we
Come
can pan
on.
around him first. That's cool. Oh, look at that. Look at his face.
Oh, okay,
So
the skin's actually pretty
badass.
cool. The alt skin is pretty cool.
Rawr. We could just sit and watch.
That's a
We
scary
don't have to say,
dragon.
there's something we need to add to this. Like I like the way his wings are all slow.
I wish it was a little bit bigger,
but he can still fly.
but
to an
like
extent.
the actual
The tail
skin's
is
pretty
so more
dope.
sinister when it's just a skeletal column.
Yeah,
That's true.
It looks awesome.
And the auto attacks we already saw, but they're also, I believe, blue.
It looks like they have a very blue. Yeah.
What I think we got is Pawn waiting for it to expire so you can have more time to play around.
Now we'll see all the abilities. Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks awesome.
That's dope.
You can literally
That's
see
so
his soul
fucking.
leaving his
That's such
body.
a good color.
Over and over again.
He's got a lot of soul, doesn't
The
he?
end of the soul. He's got soul, but he is a soldier, that's for sure.
It's a good song.
The eye next to it as well.
Hindu.
Underhanded Tactics 2.0, you ready?
Yeah.
Whee!
Dragon leap.
To be fair, he has got, like, you know, his wings are a bit messed up, so I can understand him only leaping.
That
Instead of
target,
flying.
Makes sense.
he, like the little monochrome silhouette there is actually very cool and kind of like
It is cool.
Geiger-esque, and that's very neat looking.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, as per usual, because it's a tier 3, it does come with a voice pack. So our good man Pom Pom hopefully has the voice pack installed and we can take a
Oh,
little
let's
listen
see.
in.
Bets are off.
You're worth preserving. Terrific.
That's right. He did it.
I'm the darkest force there is. Your pain will last for all eternity. You think you're going to stop me? That really raises my spirits.
A little
You
necromancy humor.
necromancers throw the best parties. People are just dying to get in.
I like it. It's got a lot of that same evil insanity that Fafnir has, but just a different flavor of it. He's like, you know, in his lore, he lives out in the middle of nowhere, and he's just, I could imagine this guy doing the same thing. This is a big, like, ice castle of just.
They're putting a
bunch
lot of
Jewish
time into
animated
this skin,
servants.
like it's something really special, but it's
The darkest force
not.
there is.
Like the alt skin is awesome. Everything else is completely
Do some
standard,
do some taunts.
average.
Because I love that animation, too. It's so badass.
You'd be a little more than my next meal if I don't tempt me. For you're crunchy and good with ketchup.
I've got your back.
Gods.
Hey, thanks for the sub, man.
Trick question. I died of a natural cause, not a second. Wasn't my own
I don't understand. This isn't that special.
And there's a little look at Fafnir. Next on the list, though.
The
we've
taunt
got
was
more
cooler than
still to
everything
come.
else in
We're
the
gonna
fucking
have
god.
The heartbreaker of heartbreakers, Nox, also
yeah.
has a skin coming
Oh,
out
just
on
a
this
skin?
patch as well. I guess it's very Valentine's themed, like we always do.
Oh, you think so? She's a heart on her titties.
Valentine's theme.
Oh, is it
She's a
not?
titty
It's-
heart.
It's love hearts, and I didn't see the you know the Queen of
Titty
Hearts
heart.
card shown for this one before, but you know love hearts around Valentine's Day kind of makes sense.
It's close, yeah.
And there's a little look at her art, obviously. The
Yep.
card art looks fantastic as
Beautiful.
always. It's correct in all the right places is what I want to say. For
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
part there. And their dress is amazing.
I like the swap from like, oh man, she looks really hot. Oh, but that dress.
The dress is
so
quite
To be fair,
nice.
I just saw it, and this is the first time I've ever seen any of these skins this time, because normally I get a little look, but like the dress, the way it's actually cut, looks fantastic.
Yeah, and if Chuck was here, he would let you know that this Nox dress actually does have a bit of technical constraints and can be really difficult to work with. So the layering they got here worked out really well and looks awesome.
I think I could pull something like that off. I might cosplay that.
Sure. Let's.
I've been hearing
let's
about
see at the
Hindi
next
Man
land.
cosplays.
I may have the chest
so
for
long.
it if I keep working on it this year. I may get towards that chest area
If
here.
we get you the right bra, I could probably make it happen.
That'd be great. No bra needed. I don't think Nox is going to bra in here, let's be honest.
Well, whatever her shirt is made out of is helping that in some way. But I love these
It's support,
firing
it's
effects here.
support.
They got really nice colors, and you can see the clubs and hearts
The
and
skin
spades
is.
in the.
I like
Oh,
the
yeah,
effect.
when you actually land the auto
That
attack,
effect's
that's
pretty
fantastic,
cool.
it turns into hearts.
And even just in the traveling, you could see them, but a little more subtly.
Aren't there like diamonds and
Showing
shit in
you
there
her
too?
Poker face there.
I've got your back.
Mama. Oh,
Little hearts around the bottom as well.
Thanks for the
just to
resub,
signify.
Black Sky. Oh, she's throwing hearts into that
And
bitch.
then the silence of silences.
So yeah, it's literally just like.
Following up with
I've got your back.
Oh, okay, so it's not an actual like Valentine's Day
it's
skin.
all clumps.
it was the
Good
targeter, I
enough.
think. Oh, yeah, as it warms up.
Thanks for the
it
5
gets-
month
It's not
resub.
random. It's not like our merchant skins, but it does warm up over the course of the explosion.
I've got your back.
Yeah. Oh, look at how
Sometimes-
pretty you are now.
Sometimes
all
love hurts,
15
you
months,
know?
let's
It
do.
shows that.
In New Zealand right
Yeah, we're
now,
about to see
so
that with
haven't
their
gotten
ultimate.
to see the stream much.
Yeah, let's see what it looks
Keep
like
it
with the ult as
going.
well.
Thank you for the 15 months bounded wall.
Nice shot, Pawn.
Titties.
That looks awesome. I love the heart in it.
He's just been practicing too much on Joust, is what led to that.
Straight line shots.
Now, as it is a tier 3, it also comes with a voice pack as well. So, Pompon, if you please.
These are all tier 3 skins this patch.
I am impressed. Brilliant. Everybody has to worship me. You must be the queen of cringe. You have no idea what I'm capable of. How do we get rid of lesser gods? Off with their heads! I love talking to myself. It's the only way I get a decent conversation around here.
Definitely went with the Queen theme here.
Yeah, you can really feel it.
I like
voice,
it.
In the voice pack as well.
Poor Odin's heart is broken now.
I'm ready for the next skin already.
Oh, it's Saul, that's for sure.
I have no interest in these
And that's all
skins,
look
to
at
be
Rock.
honest.
Next on the list, we're going to be doing a bit of, let's see, Swarm Sentry on Moose and
Oh,
Carl.
yeah, this one's amazing.
Now, this skin, we've seen a little bit of a leak of it earlier on, but this is it in its final form now.
Right.
And what fantastic card art that is as well.
This one's going
That's,
to be part of the
that's
season
cool
ticket.
card art, but
Oh,
is
is it?
the
This is,
fucking
I
skin
believe
gonna
so,
look
yeah.
good?
This is the earnable part of the season ticket that you don't need to buy the pass for.
Awesome. So just by playing the game, you can unlock this just by playing regularly.
Yep, and you have all year to do it.
Brilliant. Well, let's see what it looks like in game then as well, because it looks amazing. It reminds me a little bit of like, I don't know how to say it. It's like mechanical, obviously, like futuristic vibe to this.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of sci-fi, kind of transformery. And if Pawn, let's see if he'll do it. The helmet actually is all animated too. It's kind of opened up right now, but
Okay.
it'll all close down.
What, the helmet closes and opens?
Oh yeah, it looks really cool.
So
I'm
do they
not sure
change
exactly
the?
what
So none
triggers
of the abilities are gonna be
I
changed,
do like
right?
the wings.
Neither is Pawn.
Yeah, I thought he did it in idle, but maybe it's combat or once he starts moving, it'll.
It looks
that's all
skinnier.
opened
What?
and Don't go through him. A little too close.
And I'm
Pawn.
fat, bro.
There's nothing inside.
But like in the card art, you can see his face mask was a lot more solid, closed, almost like a knight's helmet or something, and it'll do that going forward.
Well, the best news is he's still left-handed
Yeah,
for the most part. I believe he's one of
the
our
important
only
thing.
left-handed gods, right?
Yeah.
one of the few.
Is it more than one?
I don't know.
The
off
majority are
top of my
definitely
head.
right-handed.
Is it, I'm just trying to think if Tyr's left-handed now. I think he is.
Is he missing his left hand?
He's missing the right or the left.
He's kind of constrained.
Well, yeah, right
doesn't-
or the left. It's a
It doesn't matter anymore. Ooh,
Auto
those
attacks are
hives.
simple.
yeah. The hives
Hives
are
are
a completely
pretty
different model with this, like,
cool,
kind of
actually.
century-
Yeah, the hives are dope.
I love the
That's
you can
pretty
hear the
cool, it has
noise of
sound and
that well.
everything.
You could with the bees nearby, but you can actually hear them.
You almost
like the
expect
hum.
You almost expect the hive to start shooting at Odin. It looks very aggressive and turrety.
Okay.
That looks huge.
Okay.
That's what.
That's
normal
awesome.
swarm is big,
I know.
man.
I'm just saying, like, you know, when you see it in a different form, even though
Yeah.
it's the same size.
There we
it's just, like,
go.
bigger
Hi-Res
sometimes.
doing some cool
Well, the
shit
borders are a
rather than
little more
just
defined
color
with this
changes.
too, so you get that feeling. But he's got a lot of, you know, blue particle energy cannon feel here.
Okay, that's dope.
And there is the
That's so
honey, as per
fucking
usual. Not really
cool.
honey this time, more
Why do
like
they give it the
electric
B
goop
sound, though?
Is what I'd probably call
Plasma,
that.
perhaps.
Plasma is probably a better word than electric goop, but let's stay with
mean,
electric goop.
Close
Your
enough.
official naming.
The
out
two
loud.
still has the
tried.
B
I
sound.
try so hard.
We should have just called it electric goop.
Yeah, rein in the whole ability.
And there's the stinger as well, pinned in, and what it looks like on the ground.
The old electro stinger.
The old classic stinger. Now this also comes with a voice pack as well, so we can have a listen to that after Pompon's done landing abilities.
Yeah, I don't know how much we'll see this skin this season, to be honest with you, but at least like in competitive.
You did good.
But in general, the abilities look cool.
Unbelievable! Yes, I am the master. Sorry, you came to the wrong hive. This will only sting a little. I am not bringing my A game. I am bringing my B game.
Oh god.
Wow, that's a good one.
I actually really
Sorry.
like. There are moments in his eye right there. You can see the hex pattern on his wings. It's very cool. It's
Oh, yeah,
like
when
very
it stands.
hivey, but also very technological.
I didn't notice as well the clap. I think when he says "I'm the greatest," he claps his top two hands as well together.
Yes, I am the master.
I don't know what it is, but this
Which one
skin
was it?
reminds
Claps
me
his hands
of the
together, which is
grasshoppers from what was it,
Sometimes.
A Bug's Life
But
or whatever?
we went definitely with a kind of bounty hunter theme here, you know, space. He's obviously out to get you.
Now, once again, this is available by just playing the game. You can unlock this throughout the season. So it's, in all intents and purposes, a free skin.
There are a
pretty
few
much.
prices that are better than free, I find.
What, where they pay you? We
Yeah, I
pay
guess
them
so.
to play?
I guess so.
To be fair, they get free gems every week, so, you know. That's
It's like we do.
I've got your back.
Get paid to play, as it were.
well, that's not
You're
the
the
only thing we
2-month
got this
resub,
week.
bud.
We do have another on the list as well, which is
Assassin.
Mini Metal Jing Wei.
Oh, yeah.
Mini Metal Jing Wei.
That's right.
Oh, that's great.
What happened to her? She was so cute and nice, and now all of a sudden she hit her tweens, and the next minute she's not happy anymore.
You can't tell
What
her
even
what to
play
do.
Jing
So
Wei
you gotta throw
anymore?
the devil horns, all right? Mom and Dad do not know anything about her.
I've got a sister that
I
does
need,
exactly
like,
that. They're about
a
the same age,
fucking
more than I do
Susano
as well,
skin or
so
some
I
shit.
know those feels in this one.
At least it's accurate.
That face.
She looks very happy. I guess the recent nurse didn't make her happy, I guess. She's
Well,
for the most part.
She's hanging in there.
She'll be all right.
She can say as emo as she wants as long as that Fatalis effect stays away. That's my viewpoint on it. Anyway, but look at those wings.
The
Those wings are
weapon
amazing.
turned out really awesome, too.
Very metal.
And that's the one thing about Jing Wei that we seem to like get a lot of work into is those weapons, because we've had the Super Soaker before with Jing Wei, and now, you know, with this as well, it's supposed to be a guitar, I guess, of sorts.
No, it's just a fancier
Just
crossbow.
fancy
A
stuff.
guitar?
Okay.
What the
Is it like,
fuck?
you can strum it at the same time for effect?
Yo, is Hindu high as
A lot of fun
fuck?
with this Hindu.
I sometimes do. I overthink.
There's
things
no.
too much.
Where did he? What? Where does
Look
he
at the
see a
auto attack as well.
guitar?
Nice little red pew-pews.
Yeah, it's nice to get kind of a dark, different color theme for her. She's very bright and bubbly. And
It
all
looks
the
more
other
like a
skins.
one-handed
Just hoping the
crossbow
voice pack matches. That's what I
when
that's
she's
what I'm
holding
hoping
it.
for.
Fucker said a
I was
guitar.
promised by Tina that it had lots of teen angst in it.
Oh, he's got Tina stuff in it?
Oh,
Yes.
This is going to be a good voice pack then.
Odds are.
We say that.
You never really know for sure.
You never know.
I mean, they're all good. It's just which flavor of good you prefer.
So there's the empowered bolts, explosive bolts I should say, of the two. And we've got agility as well, still to show.
Just color changed. Awesome. Great.
Nice.
The empowered agility as well.
The MC skin was 1,000 times better
And of
than
course,
the other
finally,
two
we
put
still
together.
need the airstrike. Bye, losers.
It's got a little guitar riff kind of in the warm-up there.
Yep.
It's like, wow.
Now, obviously, it comes with a voice pack as well. So, Pom Pom, for the final time of the
I don't
voice
like-
packs today, take it away, please. Get me out. Get me out. Get me out.
Credit's all mine. Rock on, dude!
Yeah, dude.
I'll make this quick. I don't even want to be here. If you die, it'll make me feel better. Your skills are sucky.
Oh.
Oh, that's good.
Zero times
Your skills are
0
sucky.
is- because that is how much I care. Joke's over, puberty. You can make me hot now.
Oh.
I thought my hormones were hardcore, but it's just you.
What?
Okay, Tina.
What?
I've
got your
a mix of apathy and math jokes. That's
And-
definitely the sweet spot.
Well, there's definitely some teenage angst in there too.
We agree.
Draw
to those
lights.
voice
Thank you for the
lines?
sub, brother.
We probably should have read them
Like,
over
was
a few
that
more
vetted?
times. It's been a busy couple.
It was extreme vetted. Indeed.
I don't know,
I
man.
gave it a
So,
good. I gave it a
No,
good
Hyra
roll.
sketched me out with this
It
one.
seems so. So after that, more punk, rock, emo, angsty, hardcore version of Jing Wei, we can move on to the
Is
mastery
that a dance
skins.
emote pond that we're seeing right here?
I've got
An
emotes as well.
in-game
Apologies.
Jing Wei dance emote.
Yes, Jing Wei now has a dance emote.
Yes, this will be available for any of her skins then, not just this one. And
What's the dance based off? We generally base them off something.
it's based off of her victory screen dance, which is
Great.
based off of something that Pawn knows more about than I do. K-pop or something.
I'm just gonna say for this one, it's based off of dance emo.
K-pop or something.
Close enough, right?
But
But
there's the new dance anyway. That's going to be coming with her. But we can move on to mastery skins next as well. Now in the mastery skins, we're going to start things off with obviously one of the latest gods. With Morrigan is going to get her mastery skins available to her as well. And there's a little look at the card art for that one as well.
Ooh.
Beautiful, babe. Right on your screen. I do love
They
the
give
artwork
Morgan
of the
them
skin as well, with the
titties.
tattoos on there.
Yeah.
looks great.
And let's have a look at that. We should be able to show you in-game as well. Now, obviously, that's the level 1 version of it. Then there's the legendary as well. And obviously the diamond version.
Okay, this is the
top
gold
of
skin.
that, when you
Looks
hit
pretty
rank
like
10,
pretty ass,
which looks
honestly.
great in-game.
Not in a good way.
I've mostly shown off the gold on the
That's
weapon,
a
but
really
in
simple
game, you
gold
can see it on
skin.
the belt and on the neck piece and on some of her hair pieces as well, getting that classic mastery feel.
We're really trying to
It
get
is,
some
I don't
brighter
know.
colors on
It's
these blues and
good
golds
compared to
too.
what
I
it
know
used
we
to
get
be,
that
but
feedback a
like
lot, so
not good
I think
overall.
Morgan looks really good like this.
At least
Next
compared to
up is
what
the
the
legendary
old
version.
gold skins used to
Oh,
be.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Legendary is always so badass.
Yeah,
you
it's,
know?
legendary and diamond for me are always the two.
You
I
say
don't know
Morgan
why,
needs
the
to go
black
on a
and gold
diet?
combo
Are you
just works
fucking
out.
high, bro?
I'll even get Diamond Gods and still pick Legendary all
Same.
the time though, because I prefer it.
You stupid.
Well, the legendary does always remind me of Purdue, the black and gold.
Are you a fan?
I mean, I have family who went there.
The diamond effect. Let's have a look at this one. It's a little bit.
This
Oh,
is
it's
slightly
feathers on the
different
shoulders as well. There's a little bit of a difference here than what we've seen usually. The feathers on the shoulders obviously aren't the natural blue and diamond we're used to, but it does fit the outfit.
Diamonds are, of course.
A
This
girl's best friend?
yeah.
Wow, we've just been
You read my
song
mind,
references
yeah.
all the time here today. That's how it's going to be.
Did you say her stomach
the
is
brighter
huge
blue
and
on the
jiggly?
golden and a little
What
bit
the
more
fuck
teal
are
on
you
the
looking
diamond.
at?
Oh, those
and the
effects are great.
autos as well.
Oh, and the
I've got your back.
What? Something is wrong with you, bro.
The dark feathers.
What the fuck?
lighter blue on
Bitch
the
has a flat stomach and you said it's
Looks like
jiggly.
Now, obviously, we've been updating mastery skins.
smoking
as well
that
as
real
time's
good
gone
shit,
on.
bro.
And
Something
so
wrong
the
with
next
you.
one to be updated is Jabalanque has had some mastery skin updates as well of his own.
Shabalanque
And
should
there you have
die.
a look at him
God
on
is
your
worthless.
screen right about now. Jabalanque will have the update as we've seen before in the past as well, and this should put him in pretty good stead overall to continue what he's been doing. How's he doing in the season so far at the moment, AJ?
I mean, I think Jablanque is one thing is that people underestimate his
Yeah, I don't
ultimate
use mastery
very
skins.
often.
I fucking
It's
hate 'em.
really strong. So I think he's been doing really well. He has always a tough early game. That's
Yeah.
kind of always been his thing. But he has really big chances for big impacts as you go on in the game.
Well, we'll see what he can do in.
I think the
game
only
right
mastery
now
skin
as
I ever
well. Yeah,
used was
that leopard
Apollo
print looks
gold skin.
amazing. I
When that was
really
like when I had Apollo rank 1.
It is
That's a
it's
really
looking
good.
good.
I'm actually concerned about how good the legendary version is going to look now because the blue one looks actually amazing. I love the shield as well. It looks like a real jaguar. He's looking like he's actually hiding inside it.
He hunches down so low. It can be tough to get those camera angles.
So
I like
there's a
the
look-
bolas too. Look good.
Look at the legendary after the golden as well. It's called golden. I've got to get that right one day.
Golden.
I always just call it tier 1. I just get confused
That's
between
not even close.
them. I know.
Just
That
don't
describes
look
a
good.
completely different type
I
of skin.
realize that. Show me the shield. Show me the shield with the feather plumage.
These don't look good.
Plumage for days.
The gold with the jaguar spots just stands out really well.
Thank you,
Does
Jay
work
Tedder.
very, very nicely. And then finally, the diamond version as well. Obviously, these will all be updated in-game in the latest patch when this patch goes live. And the diamond one, he's shiny.
He is very shiny.
He can hide in the base and nobody will know he's there right now.
Nice. Yeah, he's covered up quite a bit, so get a lot of diamonds going on.
He really
I don't
is.
like these
That's
skins.
crazy overall with the diamonds there.
I mean, I'm a Diamond Jablanque, so I'm looking forward to this.
Okay.
Pull this one out. Although I do
Jablanque
love his,
sucks.
techno neon
These
skin a lot, too.
fucking
Now,
mastery
we mentioned
skins
Jablanque,
are average.
Obviously, he's going to potentially be meta. We'll have to
Fuck
see how
no.
things work out with him, but he is going to be available with this latest skin. Now, all these skins as well, just to remind you, we're going to have Fafnir, Nox, and Muzenkarb, Jing Wei are all tier 3 skins, and they will all be available going forward in the future in the latest patch. But that's it for skins this week. Say goodbye to Jibalonke because next on the list is myself and a good friend of mine. I like to call him a friend, but we're not really. We're just acquaintances. Pop, how you doing?
Good. I mean, considering how you talk about me on the show and how I mess
Move
up
your
all the
mic
time.
closer.
And now you get to sit next to me and I get to do it to your face.
Oh no.
Pon, this is
This
standard.
is pretty
Move your
bad.
mic
This is back to the
closer.
old school days, right?
Yeah.
Bugging me.
Okay, well, we're going old school because I'm on paper today. As you can see, we don't have time for anything like that. So we're
Yeah,
going
you printed out all the changes and it's like even colored.
I have to. You can see, even see the colors on here where it's like, no, remove this. This was a bad idea. Import this because it was a good idea. We'll start things off with miscellaneous first of all before we go into item balance. Updated the lobby description for Clash.
Yep, it was incorrect. It's now updated.
Cool. Players will now only see the team boosters menu on queues that allow for rewards to be earned. Cool.
Yeah, so like match the day doesn't give you worshippers, so now you can't actually like waste it there.
Okay.
That
And then on top of
should
that,
have
finally,
been
we also
standard.
adjusted the size of Demonic Pact Anubis. to
Yes!
allow for better visibility in his final
Yes!
form.
Yeah, this is something we did
Yes!
on before, but it was a bit too
Woo!
much, and so now we've toned it back down just to help with visibility issues.
Okay, cool. Now, on top of the miscellaneous, we then have map changes to talk about, and the map changes this week are only to do, I believe, with Clash. The
Yes.
predominantly is all Clash
You're
here.
scaring
I'm
me,
gonna
bro.
run through these really quick. First of all, I guess we should mention about like XP spooling and such, because that's what a lot of people have been speaking about.
Yeah, and so basically there's a lot of concern with the new Clash map that it kind of snowballed a little bit too quickly.
Yep.
People hit max level too quickly. And that came down to, there was actually a really good post about this where it was the jungle camps felt too easy, they felt like they gave really powerful buffs, and also that the XP spooling was there. We hit 2 of the 3. We hit the jungle camp health as well as the jungle camp buff strengths.
Okay.
To make sure that that wasn't affecting the game pace too badly. But we're going to hold on XP spooling because XP spooling overall we feel like is a good addition. It helps keep the game a little more even. The level 1, level 3 fights that you have where it's one team could wipe the other one, they get a massive lead and just end the game. This helps keep people a little bit more in. So we're just going to kind of watch it closely, see if we need to tone that down a little bit later, but that'll be in a future patch.
No one cares.
Just to run through these then real quick. Apophysis, is that how you say his name?
Bro, I thought it said Aphrodite's health increased by 2,400. I was like, what the fuck?
600. On top of that, health per minute increased from 130 to 145. Mana buff enhanced. Reduced CDR from 20% to 15%. Reduced MP5 from 75 to 50. On top of that, the damage buff increased respawn time from 90 seconds to 120 seconds. Shadow of Apophis reduced magical power gained from 70 to 50. And reduced physical power gained from 50 to 30. Veil of Apophis, the enhanced Apophis buff, has reduced magical gained from 100 to 70 and reduced physical power gained from 80 to 50. Not only that, the Phoenixes have increased physical power from 30 to 42 as well.
Yep.
So that's for all you Clash mains out there. Now, there is a small change to Conquest, which is added channeling effects for the Titan when they are opening a portal in their base.
Yeah,
so
they
you can
hold
actually
out,
see
like
the
their
portal.
hand and like they do like a
Oh,
little
that's
wavy
pretty
thing.
It's
cool.
more of a flavor thing than anything
Yeah,
else, pretty much.
it
It's
is.
not going to impact the Titan or anything
Nope.
to do with Conquest. It's just
That's
the
cool.
Titan will show you he's spawning a portal.
Yep.
Cool things. On to items then. Now, the item section looks pretty slim this week, Pom Pom.
Yeah, there was, we're still watching people, and this is kind of going to be with all the changes, we're still watching people play the game, learn things. Some people were really valuing early clear, we've seen some people shift away from that, and so we're still getting a feel for all the items, but there's a particular tree that has kind of overshadowed all of that and is clearly a bit too strong, and so we're turning it down.
Just
nerf
one
and
tree
crit.
that's overshadowed anything.
I think everyone knows what that is.
Are you sure? Like, I'm...
It's like pointy star throwy things, shurikens.
The Shuriken tree is getting some adjustments to it, and it's going to start off with the 8-pointed Shuriken. As you can see, this change is going to be a gold increasing cost. It's going to go from 1,500 to 1,700. On top of that, the Wind Demon. That's going to be changed as well, with an increasing cost from 2,600 to
Finally.
2,800.
That's
And
like
not
a
only
long
that,
time
we also
coming.
are hitting Poison Star as well, not only in its cost, but also in its power that it gives. It's going to go down
Ooh.
from 30 to 20
Damn.
power, and the cost is going up from 2,200 to 2,400.
Yeah.
Do we feel this is going to be enough, Pom Pom?
Well, this also,
Damn.
so a lot of people were talking about rushing crit, and making it more expensive kind of prohibits that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit more of a trade-off when you go
Looks
for the
like
items.
Incon's
The
Hunter
tier 2
build
being more
that is
expensive,
1 day
also
old
build into,
is now
and then Poison Star,
fucked
which is
in
a
the
lot of
ass.
people were rushing really quickly to get crit early. The power is reduced on it, so it's less effective. We're going to watch this tree and see how it goes, but we feel like this is a pretty good first step to address it, and then see how people play around with the change.
Okay, so only the Shuriken.
Yeah,
tree
my
gets touched
Merc
so
build
far
does not
in the
change
latest patch. Obviously, it's
at
still
all.
early in the season, so things can still change in terms of itemization as of right now.
Yep.
Cool.
I think we'll actually see it this weekend. We'll see a lot of pro players see what their strats are.
And that's the key there. Relegations is this weekend. If you've not known about that, 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday, you can tune in. EST time, obviously. Tune in, watch all the relegations, and see what the pros do in Season 4 for the first look at that. But we can move on to Gods now. Now, obviously, all these things won't change.
No Heartseeker change?
Out, which will be the following week.
No regrowth change? What the
an
fuck?
Update there as well. Aphrodite, first on the list, and this is mainly an updated description change more than anything else.
Yes, this one is, through looking at it, it turns out that Aphrodite has been giving 70% of her mana regeneration to her allies, not 30% as it said.
Okay.
And instead of bringing that down to 30 because it's a really big nerf, she's been in a solid spot. We just want to make it so that she has 70% mana share.
Cool. So it's just a tooltip change to reflect the fact the tooltip was incorrect more than anything else. She's going to stay exactly the same overall there. Although it looks better now because you thought you were giving them 30. You've been actually giving them 70.
So
when you
that crit 100 build is going to
Next
go
on
out the
list
window,
is
I
Chiron.
think.
Chiron is getting his stuff.
Chiron?
Yeah.
Who's he?
Getting buffed?
Is he a god?
He's a horse dude that teaches people, and he's getting a buff.
Oh,
what's the
buff
reason for the buffs, first of
Chiron.
all?
So he's struggling overall with all the other ability hunters. When you kind of look at what his kit brings, he has a lot of utility, but he didn't have a lot of raw strength to back that up.
Okay.
And for a hunter, when you're trying to fill that role, you want someone who can bring a little bit more late game or early game punch. And so Chiron's getting a little bit of a change to make one of his Giddy Up a little bit more of a steroid.
Yep.
As well as the Centaurus is going to be a lot more impactful.
Well, here we go. Giddy Up, first of all, is going to have a physical power buff added to this ability when you use it. It's going to be scaled from 10 to 50
Why?
for the duration of the charge. So when you've actually firing those autos off, you're going to get an increased power. And I guess
Oh, it's
besides
just for
that,
the
that's
charge,
also gonna
okay.
give you more damage on that ability if you connect with it.
Yeah, if you connect with it, also if you're building a crit build, 50 additional power towards a crit build is pretty good. So.
Yeah. In the later stages,
That's
for
a
sure.
weird,
Definitely
like,
on top of that
thing to
Centaurus as
add.
well, you can see the item changes. Sorry, the damage changes there
Alt
on
does
your
more?
screen. Increased damage from 100 to 280 is now going to be 130 to 310.
Damn.
So just reading through
Doesn't
this
it fire
real quick, it's
3
around 20
times?
to 30 change each time.
Yes, but that can
930
hit 3
total
times.
damage? What
So
the
that's
fuck?
to a 90 damage change.
That's
and
true.
so this is to help him. Yeah, this is to help him. When you're looking at kind of the other similar ability hunters, his damage was pretty low. And also when it's relying on trying to secure a kill to get the revive effect, it just wasn't happening consistently enough. And so we're bringing that up a little bit so that you have those little, like those hype opportunities to have that happen, as well as his damage when he goes into like a big fight where he's using those ultimates a little bit more comparable.
Well, we'll see if that's enough to bring Chiron into form. And talking about bringing someone back into form, Kronos is the next one on the list. Are we nerfing him again?
No.
We're not?
We're buffing him.
We're buffing him. Well, let's go through the buffs first of all. You can explain why we're doing all these things, I guess, afterwards. Wheel of Time is going to be the first thing to be changed. The passive. The passive is now going to have, in the third section, the buff will go from magical power from 20% to 25% to a 5% increase there. And not only that, the power section of Section 4, which is for the basic attack power, that's going to be adjusted from 35% to 45%. Not only that, we're going to have Accelerate with the increased movement speed from 20%, as well as additional scaling throughout is going to be 25% instead base, and that's going to scale up to 20% max.
Damn, it starts at 12?
So it's a 13%, I believe. Increases it? Or is 37?
It's, if you were to do the math, 24 to 25 and 12 is 37, so yeah,
I was
13.
37. I was like, 13 is the difference. I had the numbers, I just was wrong.
That's interesting.
There's a 30% increase at base on the Accelerate already. And not only that, you can also see, we go further down, you can see on the screen there, Stop Time. That's going to get an additional power source as well of an additional 10 power each of the ranks, which will take it from 30 to 110 to now 40 at 120. A lot of changes here, Pom.
Yeah, there were a
Those
lot of
are
changes.
weird
When we
little
removed
changes.
the Fatalis effect from him, it hit him probably more than any of the other ones that we removed it from. And we saw a lot of players have a really negative feels also when they were playing him, right? Like when you popped Accelerate, you didn't feel like you really got moving. And so with all these changes, we wanted to do, one, bring his viability up a little bit because he was struggling in the damage compartment. As also,
increased
if you choose to
damage.
build mage, you're a Wolf of Gwen mage. But if you do choose to opt into the Fatalis effect to get the old effect back, you have additional scaling to help you so that you don't feel like you're weaker because of it.
Okay. So
I need
there's a
someone to
little
read
bit
over
Chiron,
patch notes.
And then we'll jump straight.
Kronos.
Kronos, who cares? They've both not been played in a while, so I forget the names. Nike's something that's been played a lot just lately.
Yeah, she's been doing really good.
Hopefully not anymore.
She's been
Nike's
doing really good.
getting some nerfs this patch once again.
Yes!
We're gonna be looking at 2 victory. The passive
don't like
once
Nike
more.
anymore.
The movement speed bonus that you get went from 3 to 7%, is now going to be 2 to 6%.
Damn.
As well as the decreased bonus power from this, it went from 6 to 10%, it's now going to be 4 to 8% overall there. And not only that, we're also going to increase the rend cooldown from 12 seconds to 14 seconds. So hitting 2 different things here.
Yeah, so I think the big thing is victory as a passive gives a lot to her team, especially in the late game. Just having that passive power, having that passive movement speed, even if you didn't necessarily feel it, it makes a big impact on the game. And so we're just toning that down a little bit so it's not the defining thing that causes her to be really good late game. We also took a look at her early game and kind of her boxing power. And against characters that couldn't interrupt Rend, she was doing a lot of damage and it was really hard to fight her. So we're just making it happen less often so there's bigger windows of opportunity to actually get damage in on her.
Okay.
Oh, Colonel hits 4 times? What the fuck?
On the list is going to be Scardy. Yes, Scardy's going to get a little bit of love this patch. Basically, we're going to be doing what we tried to do last patch. Is that what I get?
Yeah, it was on the to-do list off PTS, but we ran into some issues, and then so I think some people saw that there was an issue that was also in live that occurred that was kind of related to it. But now we got it into this patch. It's working properly, and so we're good to go.
Awesome. So Permafrost, Scardy will now retain her speed buff for 3 seconds after leaving Permafrost. So it's an extra viable opportunity to escape using this ability.
Yeah,
that's
she's
pretty
a character
good.
that has the ability to block auto attacks, to kite effectively, to flying the other direction. She has a slow, she has a root, and then the additional movement speed on top of that is going to completely give her a little bit like another tool in her toolbox to keep that distance.
So it's only going to be 3 seconds it's going to last for.
She has 3 seconds. She could walk on it again and also get the effect again. And the big thing there, she just has another tool in her toolbox.
Okay, Scardy's going to
Interesting.
Next up on the list is Sylvanas. What's the aim of Sylvanas here?
Nerf.
This one is to address some concerns we saw with some of the early Season 4 feedback.
Okay.
We've seen that Sylvanas overall has been doing really well. He's been like very valued, and that's actually something that through Season 3 we only got there towards the end.
Yeah.
But with early lane clear and early lane pressure is one of the biggest concerns right now. And so we still want to watch how that plays out, and we still want to see how Season 4 shapes up and see if early lane clear is really that valuable.
Okay.
But Sylvanas was kind of the outlier that his auto attacks were giving a little bit too much early, and so we're toning that down.
I've got your back.
The auto attacks now, the decreased base magical power.
Thank you, Broly.
Sylvanas' auto attacks, it was 38. It's going to come
They
down
nerfed
to
his base magical power by 3.
there, and that's going to be the first touch. Are we going to be looking again if it needs it?
I think we're just going to be looking overall and seeing how players still develop the Season 2 or Season 4 meta of Conquest and see what is really valued. Right now, it seems to be early wave clear. We want to see that a little bit played out more before we make any further changes like that.
Okay. Next on the list.
Why even make the
Sylvanas.
change?
Let's move on to T. Tyr is getting some adjustments. So
He is.
We'll talk about we'll say the adjustment first of all, and then we'll discuss exactly what this means in terms of Tyr players out there. So it's to do with his power cleave and defensive stance for you guys, and it's to do with the heal. The heal will no longer heal twice on the first target hit. So it decreased max healing from 100/180.
Yeah.
So, explain what this means to the viewers at home who don't understand that.
So the way the heal worked before was
That's
if you
interesting,
hit,
but
if you hit
like
a target, it would heal you twice for that first target. If you hit like 3 targets, it would heal you 4 times, twice for the first target hit, and then twice after that, and it capped there. And that was when he was struggling in a lot of cases. He just didn't have the potential to sustain in lane. He didn't have a really good 1v1. And that was something we brought up to him a while back.
That's right.
And
Was
now that
Tyr
he has the
needed to be
additional level 1
nerfed?
power,
Like-
the additional level 1 clear that he has,
Whatever.
we just feel that this is giving him too many tools in the lane. He's getting too sustaining. You can't really fight back against him. If he heals up, he heals up to full. And it doesn't matter if you're 1v1ing him or if you were wave clearing against him, he just heals. So we're just making it so the damage is a little bit more meaningful when we actually trade with him in the lane.
So it seems realistically like he's got to be a lot more careful about 1v1 fights more than anything
Yeah.
else because he's not going to get the same amount of sustain he would normally in a 1v1.
Exactly.
But in
And
wave, he should still have decent clear.
Well, he'll still have decent clear, he'll still have decent heal, but the heal in the wave will also still be weaker.
Yeah.
So in 1v1, it's significantly weaker. In a 3 minion scenario, it'll be a little bit weaker.
And the final god that's going to get balanced in 4.2 next on the list is Jing 10. Now I'm going to have to read through these because what exactly is going on with Jing 10 here? Just so I know, because I'm reading this and it's like, ooh.
It's
crazy.
essentially there were a lot of issues that were happening at certain ranks.
Okay.
Like rank 5 in ability had something that was dealing a little bit too much. Rank 3 of something was dealing a little bit too less. And so we've just gone through and fixed a whole bunch of these. I think the big thing to note from here is that these changes overall, they're bug fixes, but they are going to hurt his performance a little bit. And so we just want to keep an eye on him, make sure that the fixes that make him more consistent, see how he plays after that, and then if he needs any further adjustments because he is getting some bug fixes,
Gotcha.
we make those in the future.
So these bug fixes are actually going to potentially nerf him a little bit, but we're going to keep an eye on it.
Yes.
Okay, so for you guys at home, Jing 10, Furious Roar, first of all. Fixed an issue where rank 5 was dealing 4% of the target's maximum health per tick instead of the listed 3%. On top of that, Sky Cutting Axe fixed an issue where rank 2 of this ability was dealing 80 damage instead of the listed 85 damage.
He's doing more on his 1, less on his 2.
That's a 5 buff there, Pop. On his
There we
not
go.
nerfs. Fixed an issue where this ability could provide more protection than intended. That's enough. Fixed a description error in the buff bar tooltip, and then Whirlwind of Rage and Steel fixed an issue where rank 3 of this ability would grab targets longer than intended.
Yep. There you go. We have fixed those.
So basically they're saying Xing 10 was fucked.
Xing 10 and not maxing out that Whirlwind of Rages. You're going to get rank 3 and just leave it at rank 3.
The amount of difference between them is definitely not worth it to not get the extra damage.
Terrible.
Definitely not.
Terrible. Well, that's a little look at all the balance changes in this patch. Now, there is going to be a new god, and the new
Show me
god
this,
is
motherfucker.
going to be on its way any second now. AJ is obviously here.
King of the Kappa.
And Fishman is on his way as well to discuss all about the latest god that will be joining the battleground of the gods, and his name is, let me get this right, it's Kuzenbo or is it Kappa? Wait a second, Fishman's mic isn't activated just yet because we didn't turn it on, but it'd be fine. Is it Kuzenbo or is it Kappa, Fishman?
My mic's working fine.
Okay, my
Kappa.
bad. Kappa. Hey,
it's Kuzenbo.
See what you did there, you little memer.
One second in,
look at
and
you.
we got Kappa jokes.
So,
I love it.
Kuzenbo, or King of the Kappa, King Kappa?
Sure.
What is he?
So first, before we get into, I just got shorter. Before we get into Kuzenbo's lore, I want to get into a little bit of high-res lore. When we picked the Japanese Pantheon, one of the things we liked about them is they have some very cool mythological creatures, and we wanted to vary it up a little bit more between just male, female, get some creatures in there. And we've seen some of that. But what we haven't seen really is that in the Japanese Pantheon. And one of the things that both we were interested in doing, we were looking at like the Kappa, we were looking at Tanuki, we were looking at a number of different mythological creatures, and we had some community response saying, hey, can we see a Kappa? But as high-res, we can't do a creature unless we have a named version of that.
Gotcha.
So what we tracked down is, although he is a little bit of obscure, Kappas are relatively widely known, and Kuzenbo is the King Kappa.
Let's have a look at this.
Kuzenbo, the King Kappa.
Now, he's obviously Japanese. You said Fishman there.
Oh
AJ,
my
confirm for me,
fucking
what
goodness,
role
it's a
is he
man turtle!
Guardian.
He's a guardian.
The final class of the Japanese Pantheon now has one of everything.
He
You
looks
can
like he
catch
should
them
be a
all.
guardian, right?
Yeah.
He's a man turtle,
You
bro.
can play Big Team Japan now.
Now, do you control all 4 of these things on the screen at the same time?
You do not.
Oh,
You do not.
I just wanted to throw that out there for a second because I don't know that much about this guy.
Look at the little turtles!
But
They will come into play.
is he a turtle? Is he a terrapin? What is he?
So Kappas are actually a creature that was based in Japanese mythology probably off of drowning victims, but it was described to be either maybe, so we have the idea that maybe drunken pirates saw a manatee and thought that was a mermaid.
Okay.
Well, similarly, we have like some weird descriptions leading to this Kappa, which was probably
Oh
either based on
my
a otter
gosh!
or on a salamander.
Okay.
But it does have a shell. It gives him a turtle-like appearance. Also, the same
That is
creature
dope!
that the Koopas in Mario are based off of is the
Okay.
Kappa.
Look at his
and
teeth!
Kuzenbo, his name means 9,000 beast. He is the guy who leads them over from China across the sea to Japan and brings them over there, and then starts making a noose of
He's
of himself.
balding,
They're
but
kind of
damn.
impish little creatures, much like your average Twitch chat member.
Kappa.
Yeah, Kappa.
Kappa.
So, so we got a little bit of that in his feels as well.
Crown and everything.
He
My
has
man
a
is
crown.
buff.
He's beautiful.
He's also got a bowl on the top of his head there
He's got a bowl on the top of his head.
that maybe AJ can tell us about pretty soon.
AJ,
Cheer
tell me about
100,
what this
cheer
bowl is.
100,
this is a
cheer
key part of their
100.
lore,
Thanks
and we
for
really
all.
wanted to translate that into the kit. Like early on in our research, we're
Thank
like,
you for
this
the
is
bits,
an
Matt.
awesome, distinct physical feature of them, and it makes sense with how they work as a myth.
Yeah.
So the Kappas have a water bowl in the top of their heads, and this is where they draw their power from. And in Japanese mythology, actually, the way to defeat a Kappa was to bow to it, and out of respect, the Kappa would bow back and then accidentally empty his own bowl of water and then lose his power, and then he couldn't drag you into the water and drown you.
Right.
Which they would do on occasion when they were feeling especially mischievous. So Kuzenbo's passive is his water bowl, which is gonna fill up as he takes damage.
Okay.
So for every 2% of his health, he's gonna gain true mitigations, 1% true mitigations, and this is going to stack up to 10 times. So as you're in combat taking a bunch of damage, you can see there the stacks are building, and even the water bowl in his head starts filling up a little bit
So
visually.
you can see on the water of your own character as well of
Yes.
actually that water bowl. So it's very similar to like Fafnir with the pouch at the back. It kind of gives that sort of same style.
So as Fafnir gains protections for earning money,
Yeah.
Kuzenbo gains true mitigations for taking damage.
Okay.
And then, so, just to keep
That's
the theme rolling here with
fucking
this
awesome.
ability, keeping it's an open bowl of water on his
I
head.
was gonna say, yeah. How do you get rid of that?
So he loses it over time just because he can time out. But also if he gets hit by a crowd control ability that is a displacement effect.
Right.
So a knock up, knockback, stun, or I'm sorry, not stun, knock up, knockback, grab, pull,
Yep.
those type of effects.
Or
that-
vanish as well, I believe.
Yes, is that correct, Fish?
That's
Vanish?
right.
Okay, yeah. So these ones that lift him up and throw him around, that will cut his passive stacks in half.
Okay, so he loses his water bowl if that happens.
Yeah,
he
if
gets
you
splashed.
bounce him around, he spills his water bowl and he loses some of his natural defenses.
Cool. So it's just going to be a stacking passive over time, and then as he takes damage of it, and then you can get removed by enough effects like this. Goodbye,
We
water.
lost
It's
half
still
that.
there.
He took so much damage that he filled back up again right there because he ate a fire giant hit. But
Wait,
stacking CC can definitely get him to-
wait, they
to
never
lose
went
those
away. What the
variations.
fuck?
Now, that's just the first... Obviously, that's just a passive, and we've still got other things to talk about as well, so we can move on to the very first ability in this guy's kit. He's melee-based on auto attacks as well, right? Because I've not seen his... I just saw his
That's
auto
correct.
ascent. He is melee-based autos. What is this? Oh, sorry, this is called the Nene Kappa.
That's right. This is called the coolest ability in this kit, maybe in the entire game.
What? It's Ricochet, what?
So the first thing you're seeing there is the bounce targeter that we have on Houyi's Ricochet.
Okay.
And when we fire this, you're going to see that the turtle shell is actually going to travel out and bounce off that path. When it's done, however, it's going to spawn
Look at him!
the Nene Kappa.
It's a
So
Mario
in his
shell!
lore, and when we get the lore video,
Oh my
and when you see his lore in the character screen, it's going to talk about how he's only ever been defeated twice, and one of them was by this Japanese general. The other time was by this cute little Nene Kappa.
Okay.
So he's brought his little ally out to the battlefield, and when he's in lane, when he needs to clear, when he's in the jungle, when he's attacking his enemies, he's going to fire at his Nene Kappa. It's going to pass through, and he's in jungle camps doing damage, like a ricochet projectile.
Okay.
And then if it hits an enemy god, it's going to stop, spawn the little ally, and he's going to help fight with you.
Well, we can see Pompons not very good at Kappa control. That's
I think he was showing us how if it reaches the end, it will also spawn.
So once it gets the end of its spawn, even if it doesn't hit a wall, it'll just spawn like that, as you
That's
saw
right.
there. And you're going to get good damage as well. Now,
That
does
is
it do anything else? Just deal
awesome.
damage? Is that all it's going to do?
Just deals
there?
damage.
And if it goes through a minion wave, can we see that? So you can double tap it through them to do more damage, is that correct?
That's right. That's right. Now each hit is going to do the same amount of damage, but you can hit up to 3 times.
Okay.
And then he will come out and tank and do a little damage for you.
That's kind of cool. And he, when you say he tanks and does a little damage to you, can he body block shots or anything like that? Or is he,
He
just...
can. Yeah.
Oh, he
He's like,
can?
yeah, just like a broodling or a clay soldier or a Aztec cat.
Awesome.
Bro, I'm just gonna throw
That's kinda
turtles
cool. I actually
around.
like that idea. So it's like basically a turtle that comes to fight for you.
Well, not technically
It's not a turtle.
It's the Nene
It's a
Kappa.
kappa.
It's a kappa.
Yeah.
It's a Nene Kappa.
Specifically the Nene.
And I
Nene
just have a
Kappa.
sneaking suspicion that Twitch is spamming the kappa icons in chat. If not, now is your chance.
I just know I'm going to be saying on broadcast all the time, watch him whip, watch him throw the Nene, and that's
Boom.
exactly what's going to happen over
That's
and over
right.
again.
And his victory screen will definitely help you with that.
oh, well,
Oh, yes.
hopefully we get a little look at that later on. Well,
If Pawn can win.
that's only the first ability of this Guardian. Obviously, next on the list is going to be his second ability, and I'm pretty sure by its name here, AJ, it gives us a good indication of what's about to happen. It's called Shell Spikes.
That is correct. So he activates shell spikes and he gets damage reflect. We were looking
Or
for a
wha-
lot of, looking at our guardians in a lot of ways they
That's
protect themselves.
awesome.
And we wanted one that was specifically aggressive. Kuzenbo is positioned
That
as
is
a little bit more of
awesome.
an aggressive guardian. He's got he wants to really get in the mix of things, deal some
Cheer
damage and start
100.
displacing
Hey,
people, as
how's
we'll
it
see when we
going?
get to his
Week
other
3
abilities.
and
So
new
shell
god
spikes
looks
really
cool so far.
complemented that kit design really well.
Yeah, this new god is nuts.
And what this does is
Thank you for
while
the
it's
100
active, it'll reflect damage back to targets that hit
Matt,
Kuzenbo.
thank you for the 300
And
bits
this will
earlier.
rank up in the
This
amount of damage
is
it reflects as you rank up the ability. It also has a
awesome.
secondary effect though, which is really cool, which is it actually shortens the cooldown of his 1
Or his Nene Kappa.
by the more hits he takes while he's in shell spikes.
Interesting.
So Nene Kappa can come up really, really quickly
Oh, wow,
twice
look
in
at
a
that.
row.
The minions get
if
distracted.
you,
I guess it's a bunch of
Kappa
minions.
just, like,
so-
he goes for whatever's closest. So the Kappa went for the jungle camp.
Obviously, he wasn't doing it there because the shell was
You
done
can
with there.
see
you
he
go.
just lost like lots of time off of his 1. That'll make
His
make
1
it
can
pretty
come back
careful,
up if he
but,
takes a lot of
allows
auto
you to
attacks.
chain Kappas into each other.
So just to explain that, if he actually pops that ability when he's been dotted by someone like Anubis, for example, would that actually just like allow it to proc the Nene Kappa even quicker? Every dot to count?
Yes, it will. Every
Awesome.
instance of damage triggers that cooldown reduction.
That's awesome.
The other cool thing that you'll see here is like some of our similar abilities, like a Nemesis Shield or like a Thorns. He's going to have this glowing effects on him to show that he's going to reflect damage. But he also, if you look at his mesh, the spikes on his shell actually grow out to more than twice their size.
Oh, yeah.
While this is active. So very cool stuff from our team on this.
It's really cool. And you can also see it really clearly as well, which is the best thing.
And it'll have the effects connecting to the targets
That's
too.
awesome.
Kind of like we added with Thorns and Nemesis later in the game to make it really clear you're getting damage reflected. You'll see that visually with Kuzenbo as well.
Now, next up on Kuzenbo is his third ability, and AJ Fishman. This is called Sumo Slam.
That's exactly right.
Does he slam people?
He does, and Kappa actually, mythologically speaking, they are very good at sumo with their water bowl strength that AJ was telling us about.
Okay.
So here he's going to do what sumos do, which is try to push you out of the ring. So If he hits an enemy god, he's going to take them with them. It's shorter than say of a mono dash, but it has that same like steerable.
funny,
I
dude.
can turn left with you or turn right with you.
This is going to be a solo guardian.
Damage, but the first time you hit an enemy god, you're going to grab them. You're going to take them with you.
That's
and
awesome.
Each time you pass through a further enemy, or if you hit a wall, they're going to take damage for you slamming them through or into something.
Okay.
Push him into a wall.
Right, so you push the initial target still, but he'll go through his teammates, deal damage to the teammate as well as him.
That's right.
I wonder what the damage numbers are, dude.
If need be. And that wall will deal damage as well.
And even if you are in front of an entire stacked up minion wave, you're not going to be able to damage your enemy target that you're pushing here more than 3 times, which is still quite a bit.
Okay, cool. But I mean, 3 times if you go through 3 members of a team is a huge amount, or even through the wave. So he's standing in the
Yeah,
wave
could you
against
imagine
it
pushing
isn't
him
necessarily a
through
viable idea.
creeps and hitting 3
So the
times?
interesting thing is the Nene Kappa kind of wants you to, as an enemy, stand in front of the wave, so you block it and it doesn't help you clear.
Yep.
But then this push.
Oh, so
is
it
gonna help you
doesn't
punish
do
that
damage
behavior
unless you
by
push them
pushing
into
through the wave
something.
and doing extra damage to them for trying to counter you like that.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Okay, so he's got
that's
basically 2 things that can
awesome.
help with wave clear to an extent here. Sure. For the most part. And that's his 3rd ability, which I'm excited to see
This
people
is so troll,
mess around with
dude.
that. And you can't
Constantly push him all the way.
You can
into
run
the
around in
Phoenix.
different directions, you said as well. Like
That's
you
right.
could just turn.
It is a
turning circle.
steerable dash. It's not a
Similar to
particular.
Now, this is going to be a solo guardian.
Right.
Maybe
So
a
you're not gonna be able to
support.
grab
Probably a
people and turn around
support.
and complete 180,
Probably
but
a
you
solo
can
guardian.
Push them at a softer curve.
That's right.
Well, so
See,
we got
there
a
you
sumo slam. We got a turtle that spawns out. Sorry, Kappa that spawns out.
Because the turtle is weird. I don't understand the
And then he's
one,
got
like the
spiked
use of
shell.
it.
Well, the ultimate is the last thing to really show you.
Other
here,
than
and
clear.
It's called Watery Grave. So AJ, you might as well talk us through this one.
Yeah, so in the ultimate, he's gonna
Is that the
he's gonna
island
pull
region?
into his shell, and he's gonna spin around and do this big watery effect all around him. So what this does is he gets CC immunity during it.
Right.
He gets
Can he move?
true omnidirectional movement in all directions because that feels, that makes sense with the spinning shell, right? He gets full control in all directions, so no reduction.
Okay.
He also gets a movement speed increase. And then this water is going to deal damage and push people back. So it does the most damage right on activation, and then each hit afterwards
This is
does
going to be a
half
solo
damage.
Oh, so
guardian,
you can
bro.
just juggle him away from the fight if you wanted to.
Yeah, so this was a original design goal with this ability was to be a really, really strong peel.
That's awesome.
So essentially, if I'm going to stand on my hunter
Yeah.
and use this, no melees are
Reminds me
getting
of
to my
Sobek.
hunter.
Unless you got Stone of
Because you're
Gaia.
going to push
Unless
everybody
you got Stone of Gaia and you
I
got the
guess
proc. You
it'll
got 1 second of
It'll proc you
immunity.
at 1 second, but then this lasts longer than 1 second. This lasts almost 3 seconds.
That's
so
cool.
you'll get hit eventually.
And then Papa's actually showing what you can do as a combination there, where you can actually go straight into sumo charge straight afterwards, and then take him on a wild ride elsewhere as well.
So Kuzenbo is terrifying with blink because he can blink, turn, push you, ult you, and
Put you right where he
has
wants
the-
you.
And as a sumo god, and we really wanted to go with a displacement theme. So he has a really heavy displacement. I mean, there's very few gods that have 2.
So are we expecting, when we talk about supports, generally we don't necessarily...
He's gonna be
focus
a
on certain
frustrating god to
ultimates
play
in terms of
against.
support, but you have aggressive supports that are looking to be playing the front line for the most part. We've got backline supports that like to peel, the likes of Capri, and then you've got the ones in between. Where do we think Kuzenbo is going to fall here?
So so the Nene Kappa gives him a little bit of poke from the back line, but in general, his kit is
Actually,
designed
he's not
be
gonna be able
in
to
the thick of
clear.
things. If he's in there and you have enemy
It's not gonna be a
melees, he can
solo
use
guardian,
sumo
I lied.
slam. He can also
He's not gonna be
reduce
able
the
to clear.
cooldown on his Nene Kappa by using his shell spikes, and then of course his watery grave is relatively
I lied.
close range.
I don't know what
centered
this
on
guy's
you.
I don't know what
So
his
all
role
that's
is gonna
make
be.
him strongest when you're up close and personal with the enemy, being aggressive.
Yeah, as a base look at him, I can really see.
I
that
don't
you could
understand the
wanna
use of
try
the
to
one.
mix them both
You
almost
can't
in
clear
certain
with the
places,
one?
just very-
Definitely.
Which is
Because
why
a god
the
could just
supports
walk
need
in
you
front of the
can be
wave?
to have the flexibility to play defense or offense if required.
I think he really wants to go for the big picks, and when he has that chance, he goes for it. And when he doesn't, he'll be in the back peeling a little bit more because he has obviously 2 very strong.
Honestly,
abilities
like,
for peeling.
while his
just
kit
lock onto
sounds
it
and
and
seems
kind of
really
just push him
cool,
away from
I
the
feel
fight.
like
One
he's
of
gonna
my
have no
favorite things in
place.
Playtesting has been playing Kuzenbo, and we'll be on like a Gold Fairy or Fire Giant, and the first enemy will show up to steal, and I'll just disengage from the Fire Giant and just push this enemy. Just
His
carry them
3
away
should be
from the-
CC
from the team
immune.
fight, and we can secure the jungle camp. It gets people so far away.
And his
There's a little bit of
one
potential too. If you have the
needs
presence of
something
mind to
else.
save that sumo slam and your hunter gets low, then you can use that to completely push him away as he's running back to base, which is
Now-
also useful.
Some Guardians we have in the game as well that do have the ability to either solo lane or jungle as well. Where are we expecting
no
Kuzenbo
clear.
to fall into that?
So-
Is it going to be available for that, do you reckon, or is it going to be more support oriented?
We had some mixed results in the solo lane, but I actually think there's some interesting potential with his 1 in the jungle
Yes.
for getting that triple hit and then having the little persistent pet to both take damage for you and apply a little bit of his own. We had his kit change a little bit over the course of development. The first time he was tried in the jungle, he struggled a little bit, but his numbers have changed a little bit then. So that's something that our resident test jungler Pawn said that he's excited with the changes.
I would say he's most of the time going to be in a kind of more aggressive duo lane spot. The solo lane is a little bit easier to block out. His push.
I feel like this isn't going to get played the way it is.
Blocked. The duo lane though has a lot of good tools, and then I think just
the
if you're
kid
a
is
really good
awesomely
user,
cool, but
I
like
think he does have
not
potential to be a
awesomely
jungle
good.
Guardian, definitely.
Now, are we going to be doing a PTS where people can playtest this guy before he goes live, as well as the other changes going into 4.2?
Yeah, definitely.
Do we know when that's going to be happening?
I don't know
As
when
soon
it'll
as
be
possible.
It might be ready tonight, maybe tomorrow.
Okay, so just keep your eyes
Sometimes
posted.
we wait till Friday if things are. We've been obviously pretty busy lately with all these kind of things, so we'll keep you updated.
As always,
Yeah, I don't know about this
guy,
God.
who is the most up to date as our
We'll
producer,
see.
on
And
when PTS is going to come
You
out.
can also follow Hi-Res Ops Team on Twitter, which is
Hi-Res
not the
Ops
most glamorous one to follow, but they give you the really detailed
up-to-date
information. Yes, they really do.
As it comes out. Well, there's a little look at Kuzenbo, sorry. I don't know why I keep wanting to change his name on that, but it's Kuzenbo, the king of the Kappa. Now we can listen to his voice pack and his emotes as well, which we've got to come to. So let's hear how this amazing Kappa King will sound. No, we won't.
There it is. Nice.
Cool as a cucumber. I'm the king of the copper. You're not as weak as you look. Just stay right there, Kappa. I won't hurt you. Let's wrestle. Why can't you pickle a seedless cucumber? Infertility. Man, I'm thirsty. Really go for a cappuccino.
This is too
Can we
much,
get a
bro.
couple more taunts?
You look strong, Kappa. I'm gonna kick your butt. I was born in the dankest of streams.
There it is.
Oh, that's a good one. That's my favorite one. That's my
Wow,
Oh,
bro.
so if anybody is
Wow.
like, whoa, he actually had to type whoa there
yeah,
as well.
that's the best
Wow.
one.
Now, we did actually show you just at the start there his clap, and I believe he had another emote as well.
real
It's kind of
life.
a wave, right? That's a wave.
Nice.
I like that one. And the clap. Oh, it's
Yeah.
back in style. I love it. That's the sort of clap style you want as a Guardian main, as a support player.
Yeah.
You want to really spam and make them feel useless.
Yeah, a big one too. So you just be walking around, even from far away, they can see it.
Big golfer. And obviously, we also have, on top of this,
The recolor.
we're going to be seeing the recolor as well. Now, the recolor is here on your screen. Just have a little look at that as well. Now,
And as
obviously
you saw
that's
in the voice pack as well, Kappa, historically, through mythology, their favorite food is cucumbers. The other
Right.
way to defeat a Kappa would be to give them a cucumber.
Okay.
You could they even said in myths you would write your name and birth date on it, and then give the cucumber and leave it by the riverbed.
Right.
And then the Kappa would take it, and they would know it was you, and then it would protect you when you were swimming and stuff from any sort of dangers.
Oh, so you wouldn't try and drown you for fun.
They would do that, but if you gave them a cucumber, maybe not. So you got the little, we got the Nene Kappas here eating a cucumber, and then you also heard some references in the voice pack, which
Okay.
is just, they have so much fun lore in the Kappas, and we really incorporated a lot of it into the kit this time, and it just worked out really well.
Fishman has gone. Pompon has rejoined us because we're going to end
We're
the
here.
stream with a little bit of Q&A for you guys at home.
Nah,
Obviously,
fuck the Q&A,
we didn't do
boys.
much of it last time just because
Fuck
it
the
was so many-
Q&A. We done. Stream over. Patch notes over. These patch notes were... I mean, I'm glad Crit was nerfed. The God seemed cool, but I don't think he's going to get played at all until they change some shit. I think his 1 needs to not be interrupted on a God. And I think his 3 needs immunity. And then maybe we'll see more out of like a solo laner. I mean, his 3 is going to get interrupted most of the time, I feel like, because it's really slow pace. It's not like instantly crazy. And it doesn't knock up. Also, the 1 interrupting when it hits a God makes it not... You can't wave clear with your 1. So you can't play solo lane. Jungling that God does not seem like a good idea because his kit is fucking weird for a jungle. And support, he just doesn't have supporty aspect. It's more like if you took Tyr or Hercules into the support role is what that seems like. So I don't know how it's going to work. We'll see what happens. Patch notes were average. Not that they were kind of cool, but pretty average. Pretty fucking average. I will be streaming tonight after scrims, 10 p.m. Eastern. So I'll see you all in 5 hours. Be there. Have a good night, guys. Good evening, and I'll see you tonight.